has to fight in either kicking range, boxing range, trapping range, or grappling range. Now, the important thing to know of these 4 ranges is that one range is a little bit more combative than the rest, and that is trapping range. Now, when I say combative, I'm talking about for a street fight. Now, first of all, I want to illustrate to you what constitutes what range. Okay, Mark? Kicking range is the extension of the leg. That's the first thing. So as the leg is extended, this is kicking range. If I cannot reach with my hands, but the feet can kick me in any kick. Punching range is the extension of the jab. The jab is here. We're inside of most of the kicks, but we're also outside of the elbow range. Then you have trapping range, which is right here. Closest range you have before you get to the ground. On the ground, wrestling, headlock, roll around the ground, that's wrestling range. Trapping range, is the common denominator of Jeet and of the Filipino martial arts. This range is very combative in that it is an art and not a sport. In trapping range, you've got your head. This is your headbutt. Working down, you have your teeth. Any bite. If I'm up here, he's got the bite. From the teeth, we have the chin. Okay, so if you go for a double leg takedown here, this is the chin, or the chin here. Okay, from the chin, we have the shoulder. Now, the shoulder is not a tool that's going to blow somebody away. I'm not going to run in, shoulder bump them, run out and go, well, did I beat him? Okay? The shoulder is just a means to an end. If I'm in here, it's just a little bump to get another punch. So it's just a little bump. It's not something that's going to blow the guy away, but it's a means to an end. Okay, from the shoulder, we have the elbow. The elbow is main tool in Kali. This is the main tool. Thai boxing uses elbow a lot, Bando boxing. Okay? Elbow, we have the form. You can use the inner form or the outer form. Okay, the inner form can blow smoke. Okay, this is one of the tools. Turn this way. Okay, this, as you pull here, this is a little bump here. It's called the antecubital fossa, or the inner form. Okay, as I pull the neck here, this is when you send it. As you send it, boom, it comes back with the elbow. So the inner form is a good tool. Working our way down, of course, you have the hand. Hand for any trap. Okay, the hip. Once again, the hip is just, if we're in here struggling, just a little bump of the hip to put in a knee, to put in an elbow. Okay, from the hip, we have the butt. If you grab me from behind, you can slam the rear end into the groin, headbutt from behind. From the knee, trapping, you've got the knee range, then you've got your shin. So each one of these tools are in trapping range. As you can see, trapping is in fighting. Okay? When we're out in long range, this is still the probing range. This is the range we're moving around. We're just probing each other. We're playing the game. Regardless of what we do out here, it's still a game. Even boxing, full contact, it's still a game. When you get inside of boxing, when you get in this range right here, this is now where the fight starts, where all these tools begin. Now the key to JKD, once again, is the interaction of all of the different arts. They have to blend. There has to be a continuity. You have to be a Thai boxer, then you have to be a Savate man. This has to flow back and forth. Then you have to be a Wing Chun man. Then from there you have to be a Kali man. This all has to blend. It's not just a question of grabbing a bunch of arts, sticking them all here and saying, I train of all these. It's not a question of training of all those. They have to blend together. So if you have an art where you replace on the hip, this won't work for what we do. Not to say it's not right, it's right or wrong, but it won't work for what we do, because from here, if I have this sort of reference point, my hand has to go from the hip all the way up to here to get a trap. Whereas Thai boxing, if I'm here, this is their position, not on the hip, the trap is more effective because we have our economy of motion. All you have to do is know the techniques, know the blend of arts, and know the attribute that it takes in that range, which is sensitivity. And sensitivity is something that can be maintained until you're 90 years old. If you're an art that chooses all high kicking, well, you can burn out at a certain time. And if you don't burn out, it might take you 2 hours a day to maintain those kicks. But we're talking about elbows, knees, headbutts. What do you do to maintain a headbutt? Butt the bag for 2 hours a day? You don't have to do that, because the tools are very easy to maintain. So let's discuss why we like to trap. Number one, very few people do it. Number two, the tools are very easy to maintain. And number three, you have all 12 of your tools in trapping range. Whereas in these other ranges, you've only got a small variety of your tools. Trapping range in the fight, that is our goal, is to get into trapping range. The one thing you have to know is that you have to go through 2 ranges to get to the 3rd range, kicking and boxing. Now, how we get into these ranges, there are 2 main ways. One is a stop hit. And the other way that we use as an entry is pulled from the Filipino martial arts. We call these destruction. And I don't want you to get hung up on where your hands are or where your feet are. For example, if I happen to be in this position, this is a trap I do. I don't even know what lead I was in. If I happen to be here, this is a trap I do. So he jabs, I go to here, but I get this energy. Now, right from here, all I'm going to do is fire this cross right at the face. We always train on the shoulder. Once again, gives me this energy. Okay? So as soon as he jabs, I get this to here, boom, and I come with this. The minute I come with this is the knee. Now I go to Wing Chun, and I get an inside foot sweep. When you're in that range, you're firing at him 1,000 strikes a second. You just want to go as fast as you can, like a bunch of BBs. Think of it like that. Not one cannonball that if you miss, you're lost. So when he punches, if I miss with this hand here, I can still go to this shot. So the concept is, regardless what I'm doing, one or two may miss. I'm just flowing. He jabs. Destroy the fist with the elbow. Continue to the eyes. Come in with what we call a wedge. This is from Kali. All of the footwork is Filipino footwork. The angulation. I get what I call it double pock here. I'm going to pull the neck, take it with that, and come back to the elbow. Headbutt, come down to here, and drive it down to finish it off. Okay, move around. Okay. Keep your left hand lower. The next destruction we're going to do is if you're really pulled back. For example, if Marc feints across and I happen to be here and then the jab comes, this is when we come in. Once you have this down, then you have this one down, then you have this one down, then we put in the angulation, zoning to this or zoning to there or zoning to here. He jabs, it's a horizontal gunting. The second one I happen to be a little bit lower, a vertical gunting coming up. The third one I'm rolled to this position, and this is the eye jab. So depending on where your hand is. So our fourth destruction from this range is hitting the fist. We're destroying the fist on contact. So we have four destructions: horizontal, vertical, eye jab, and catch to the elbow. So once again, if I'm here, I get this one. If I'm here, I get this one. Notice the turning of my body. It's hard to tell what lead I'm in at this point. Once again, one. Now you jab. One, two, jab. Two, three, jab. Three. So we treat them all the same way because they're coming in the same angle of attack. Okay, so once again, hands are up. Boom. If the front hand comes, boom. So if your hands are here, you don't have to move much. I could be looking the other direction, and as long as I'm still safe, as long as my hands are up. Once again, jab the eye right away, both hands. Okay? If the hand really winds up from that position, boom, just go straight in. You don't have to wait for that hand to come and then block it. So this is our entry, a hit on first contact. Hit. Keep in mind, these are not techniques. These are just entries. This is very important. I'm not going to go one and back off and hope I beat him. Okay? This is the entry. This is just for me, boom, to get into this range. When I get into this range, this is where everything flies. So he comes in high, one, two. That's my entry. He comes in middle, elbow. He comes in low, knee. As soon as it comes on the shin, boom, the knee goes down. So as you see, as I'm moving around, he kicks or he kicks. Boom, and that's all you do is pick up the knee. So from this position, the knee either goes this way or this way. Once again, we have two destructions on the high line. The elbow destruction rear elbow and the elbow destruction front elbow. Then we have the knee destruction front knee, or we have the knee destruction rear knee. Or we have a combination of them too, rear to rear or front to front. Okay, follow along with me. Raise, slap, and hit. Each time I'm going to pull out. Here's where he's going to get the gunting on the bicep, eye jab, and a hit. We're training with the hubud. Now I feed a different energy. He's going to feel when to do this because I pull back a little bit further. Then when I punch, that's when he hits, and we go into this. Whereas on this one, the horizontal, my energy is a little bit different. I'm across it. These, once again, you have to feel to appreciate. You have to be on this end to actually see them.